This is week 2, Muay Thai training. Monday and Wednesday Muay Thai training. I've already completed the training. I kept my commitments for the week and I feel great about that. Monday I did injure my left toe kicking a pad and I kicked it not wrong. However, I mistimed it and kicked with the top of my foot. In Muay Thai, usually you kick pads with your shin bone. Well, I kicked with the top of my foot and just timed it wrong. And these Hayabusa pads are high quality. They're very dense, very solid, very nice pads. And my toe is not used to that kind of impact. So it bruised, it swelled up. I was in a fair amount of pain. I couldn't kick. Basically, put it that way, I couldn't kick without putting that weight on that toe, because when you kick, you're generally going to be on your toe. So my toe wasn't able to support my weight. Long story short. So this week, I talked to Crew Hayes, I talked to my instructor, and felt that, I'm going to work these 2 days on Muay Thai and lay off with the weightlifting just to see where my 50-year-old body is at. If it can handle the 2 days of Muay Thai and include the weight training, we'll see. So I've done the 2 days of training. Little soreness in the scapula, little soreness in the neck. Of course, I wasn't doing much in the way of leg work. So that remains to be seen. However, week 3, I'm getting back on the weights. I'm doing the bodybuilding routine. I was doing my split PPLs 3 days a week, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. This week, I've laid off the weights, just did Muay Thai, had a great time. You'll see in the video that's coming up, you'll see me just doing upper body, just boxing techniques, some elbows, kind of a strange teep kick. Not really a teep kick. It's an old karate kick you'll see me do. But, karate kicks work. So this week, I didn't have the structure I had. And so I felt like I was cheating myself, cheat. That's the way I felt, like I was letting myself down, even though I made a commitment to not go to the gym, just to see where my body was, to evaluate things, approach things intelligently. So Thursday, I went to a function. There was a spread of donuts. I said, you know what? I'm going to have myself a donut, but I'm going to put it in my tracker, my calculator. I'm not going to cheat myself there, but I am going to have this apple fritter. It's not a donut. It's fried dough, but it's not a donut. It's an apple fritter. I ate the tastiness that was the apple fritter. And then I said, ooh, a raspberry jelly-filled donut. And I ate a raspberry jelly-filled donut. And I was walking about and decided that I would go back and get myself another donut, which was a maple bar. So I had 3 freaking, we'll call them donuts. I had 3 freaking donuts. Later on, I went to work, got off work on the way home. I said, you know what? This day has been kind of a wash. I pick up a 6-pack of beer, go home. So go home, drank some beer. Great. So what happened is I chose that day to cheat, but it snowballed. Then on Saturday, I got off work. It's my Friday. I work graveyard shifts. I got off work. I got myself another 6-pack of beer, and 2 spicy chicken sandwiches from the store. And of course, everything's I'm logging in. You'll see later on when I'm cooking my food. I'll show you my tracker. You'll see Thursday and Saturday. It's up. It's not 2,400 calories. It's around 4,000 calories for those 2 days. Okay. Essentially, what I'm saying, if you cheat, that's fine. However, you're not cheating anybody but yourself, and you must be okay with that. I was okay with the first day, but the second day I wasn't okay. I'm cheating myself, okay? And that goes with anything you do in life, like a test in school. You cheat on it, you're just robbing yourself of an education. You're robbing yourself of knowing your results, as far as your knowledge goes. Back in the day, a good analogy for that, when I was training karate, in Shotokan karate, we were supposed to be in kibidachi, doing punches. Kibidachi is a horse stance. Okay, sensei would walk away. I would get up from the horse stance and just kind of half-ass everything, and I would be watching him, and he'd turn around, and then I get back in my stance, doing my punches and stuff. The thing is, I wasn't fooling him. I wasn't fooling anybody. I was fooling myself. Who was I cheating, really? I was cheating myself out of the results that I want. Um, Whatever you do in life when nobody's looking, don't cheat yourself. Don't cheat anybody else. That's your integrity. Keep your integrity. And moving on with that, let's go on with this week's workout. And up next, or not up next, is going to be my Muay Thai class videos. But then I'm going to be cooking. I'm going to be making my salmon bowl, which is like salmon, rice, beans, avocado, cottage cheese. It's one of my favorite days. I have my salmon bowls on every Friday. Great macro, great calories, a lot of good stuff there on my Fish Friday bowls. This week is kind of an experiment, like I said. So enjoy the rest of the video, enjoy the cooking, enjoy the workouts, and I will yak at you later. All right, whoosh. Okay, starting off Muay Thai. First week, Monday, like I said, I injured my toe, so there's not going to be much kicking in this video. This is Wednesday's video. I didn't get much from Monday. However, this will do. Just a quick warm-up. This is how we warm up. We usually don't move this fast. My partner, God bless him, he's running me through some drills on 1s, 2s, 3s, and 4s. We'll throw in some other techniques depending on what Crew Hayes wants us to do for the day. What I'm not showing here is about a minute or 2 minutes into it. I'm huffing and puffing. I'm bending over, trying to catch my breath. So don't think I'm just going all out for the hour and 15 minutes plus that I'm doing this class. So I am 50 years old. I am getting old, of course. And I am literally drenched in sweat between workout sessions, working these mitts. These nice Hayabusa mitts that hurt my toe last Monday. Between those sessions, I have a towel to the side and a whole bunch of water. So I'm literally just dripping sweat all over the mat here. And it is quite the workout. I would highly recommend anybody looking for a good cardio program to get into some kind of boxing, kickboxing, Muay Thai. Even the old school stuff, you know, like the aerobic stuff. What was it called? Taibo. Things of that nature is great for you cardiovascular wise. I would only assume that a better cardiovascular program you could get would be to do wind sprints, and that'll really get your heart rate up. Other than that, you know, punching, kicking, working the bag, working the mitts, this brings up your heart rate way better than just going for a nice jog at a medium pace. Here, Crew Hayes is showing us how to do some elbows. That was my weird karate kick you saw there. Again, elbow. Ooh, there we go. Just got hit in the liver with a nice shovel hook. Thanks, Crew Hayes. And anyways, there's really not much to Muay Thai as far as traditional styles go. There's no forms to learn. There's no kata, in other words. It's just straight up just combat fitness, working on your punches. My technique is different from the other students. You'll probably notice in the background, I don't hold my hands up high like the Muay Thai guys do. I come from back in the day in my 20s, WKA kickboxing, the World Kickboxing Association style, K1 style, Andy Hoog, Ernesto Hoosh, you know, the old greats. So I have more of a boxing style with as far as my hands go and as far as my punches go. If you get further into Muay Thai, you'll learn that the Thailandese style, they throw punches way different than Western style boxing, given Queensberry's rules anyways. Yeah, so this is Muay Thai week 2. Okay, let's get started. It's Fish Friday. Here I'm going to do 3 cups of long grain brown rice. The serving cup is a Japanese size. I'm putting into this neat little container that I can wash out my rice with. It's got little grates on the end here where you can drain the water on self-contained unit without spilling the rice. Here you just mix it up until the water turns milky. Then you want to drain it, rinse again, mix it up until the water is absolutely clear. And then you can go ahead and put that into your rice cooker or your stovetop, however you prepare your rice. Here you'll see that I spilled some of the rice. Usually that doesn't happen if I have both hands available. I'll use my hand on the end to prevent the rice from pouring over. But this container is really cool for washing my rice. And so make sure the water is cold and clean, and there you go. That's how it should look when it drains. It's real easy, real nifty contraption. Here's my aroma rice cooker. The inside bowl is removable so you can wash it, and it has measuring units on the side. So when you add your rice, you will know how much water to put inside to cook with. Now I use 3 cups, not a US measured cup, however the serving cup that this aroma cooker comes with. What you want to do is just tap it down, make sure it's flat and even, and then go ahead and add your water. I like to use chicken bone broth unsalted because it's more nutritious. You can look it up. It also adds a great flavor to your rice. However, beware that every serving of bone broth contains 50 calories. So add that in your tracker as best you can. I like to overestimate and just go ahead and add 50 calories for each cup of rice. We're just overestimating. It's probably less, but can't go wrong with overestimating, but you can with underestimating calories. Be very careful when you're cutting your avocados in this manner. There are safer ways to do it. However, I'm very experienced in doing this, and the seed inside prevents the knife from traveling through. Neat little trick there. Now I'm going to zero out the plate, and I'm going to weigh my avocado. My tracker says these avocados from Mexico are 150 grams. So if you add that to your calories from one whole avocado, you're going to be underestimating your calories again. That's why I weigh everything by the gram, because I want to be accurate with my calculations. So with this avocado, I'm going to go ahead and spoon out the inside of the avocado, scraping as much as I can off the skin so I don't waste anything. And I'm going to add that to the scale, and we'll see if it comes to 150 grams. And no, it's 178 grams. That's why I weigh everything out. Calculator is not always going to be correct. However, it will if you weigh things by the grams. Lemons are being sliced here for my salmon that's coming up. I'm not weighing these. I'm just putting them there for visual effect. They're sliced and ready for the salmon. Red kidney beans. I always wash off my canned kidney beans, or any other beans for that matter, because I'm not going to drink the syrup juice that's added into the calories. So by washing it off, I'm washing off unnecessary salt or anything else that might be in the can. Here I use frozen pink salmon fillets. You can use fresh, you can use canned, you can use whatever you want. I have these thawed out and they're ready to go, and I'm putting them in my Sistema steam cookers. And this is the same brand I use for my cooking my eggs. You'll see in week 1, episode 2. Squeeze a little lemon over the top of each one, about 1/8 of a cup of water in each container. What I'm going to do is poach these salmon fillets. Add some dash to it, some lemon pepper, and go ahead and add the lid to the top and snap the sides closed. Very important to make sure the center is open. Just like my egg cooker from week 1, you want the steam to escape so you can avoid any catastrophe that may happen. So what I do is I cook these for about 3 minutes in the microwave and check them out, see if they're how I like them. And what I did here was for 3 minutes, but later on I added another 3 minutes to get them thoroughly cooked until they flake with a fork. Now the cottage cheese, this is what I consider my cold mixture. In my calorie tracker, I'm allotted 1 loose cup of cottage cheese. It's probably a more accurate way, I'm sure there is. However, this is just as good. So 1 cup of 2% low-fat cottage cheese into my cold mixture. Now adding the beans that I just washed off, I'm going to add that into the cottage cheese. And this thing's handy. Check it out. It collapses. That's a neat little colander, and it stores away really easy with the plates. Now mix up your cold concoction here, whatever you want to call it. Mix it all up together. You can have it separately. You can have it however you want. I just find it much easier just to mix it in with the cottage cheese. I've seen stranger mixtures with cottage cheese, so don't say anything. Add some pepper, and then to the bowl, I'm going to add my first 1 cup of long grain brown rice, which is hot out of the rice cooker. Add your cold mixture to the side. Usually if the rice wasn't hot, I would mix all 3 of these ingredients together into some kind of slop, which tastes great. And like I said, weirder things have been mixed with cottage cheese. Add your avocados, 178 grams of avocados. Here's 16 ounces of cooked salmon that have been poached in the microwave. And that's pretty much it. So the total for today is 1,836 calories, including protein shake. Okay, on to some weight training. I said I was going to weight train this week. However, the 2 days of Muay Thai have shown me that I'm not really that sore afterwards, so I can start lifting. This is Saturday night. Alone in the gym gives me an opportunity to film and to watch my form. Here I'm doing goblet squats with a kettlebell, ATGs, ass to ground or ass to grass, however you want to put it. Here with the goblet squats, you just want to sit down as if you're sitting down on a chair or in a bucket, just like this. I was always taught, you want to squat down like you're going to poop in a bucket or something. Anyways, keep your back straight, keep your form together. Make sure your elbows are in between your knees and get as low as you can. Here I'm doing deadlifts with a trap bar. I always start compound movements just doing the bar just to warm up the muscles first. So it's a good idea to warm up those muscles just a little bit, just lifting bar with no weights on it. And these are what's called Romanian deadlifts. I like to use the trap bar for deadlifts because it centers the load throughout my body versus regular deadlift where you have the bar in front of you. It puts a frontal load onto your spine, and you will feel it in your lower back more. This allows me to center the movement better and try to isolate my hamstring muscles and my glutes. Here, keep your posture straight, and just when you go down like this, just brush your hips forward. Try not to lock out your knees because you can injure your knees in most things if you lock them out. So easy does it. Like I said, keep your posture straight. Here I'm working my quads with a curl machine. I do 12 reps, 3 sets. I progressively load the weight up. For example, here I'm probably doing, 70 pounds. My next set will be 80. My next set will be 90. Always searching for that PR, what weights I can handle. I could probably do more, and we'll find out next week. Here I'm going to do my hamstring curls, and same thing, I'm going to do 3 sets of 12, progressively loading the weight just to find out what kind of weights I can handle, and I will write them down. And next week when I go to work out, I will be more in the range of discovering where my personal best is or my PRs. Here on the abductor machine, I found that doing these are really important as far as stability goes, especially when you're doing squats. The muscles that are developed here, these are good girls. And the next exercise, back in the day we used to call them good girls, the next exercise is going to be something that we used to call bad girls, for obvious reasons. Your legs are open, your legs are closed. But these develop muscles that stabilize your core, help to stabilize your core, and they're very useful when you get into doing squats, whatever variation of squats that you do. Very important to develop these muscles and to strengthen the hips. Now here I'm going to do some hip thrusts, and these are some of my finish off leg days with hip thrusts. They develop the glutes. You want to push up through your heels, like with all squatting exercises or even deadlifts. Just push through your heels. That's why I'm wearing shoes, flat-footed shoes, so I can feel contact with my heels more, and I'm still pushing through my heels and squeezing my glutes at the top.
Oh.